Hi guys. So we're going live. Just waiting for William to join in. Hi. Thanks for joining in today, guys. Can you hear me? I'm hoping that everybody can hear me at least. Just waiting for Owen. So for those that don't know, so detail and a video, what we are trying to do here is basically create faster, smarter solutions for the African market. Okay, Owen is here. We're waiting for him to join in. Hi.
Hi. Hello. How you doing?
Hi. Very well. Thanks for joining in today.
Yeah. Thank you. How's everything?
Very well. Very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for deciding to do this. Really thankful. So, for those of you guys that don't know, maybe you're living under a rock or something. He was basically like the founding program director for the Tony Elumelu Foundation. He's also director of fund operations at Ingressive Capital. He's also the Lagos chapter director for Startup Grind, if I'm correct. So this is not a joke, so to speak. we are thankful. We want to learn a lot of things. We are here to get into your mind and like just get good meets.
So no, don't worry, it's all going to be a conversation. We'll have fun. And we're twinning. We're both wearing headphones.
Yes, yeah. So basically, where I want to start off, I don't take too much of your time. So now it's basically targeted at millennials. Essentially, that's what we want the conversation to be about. A lot of people, I feel like we're at a space where millennials are trying to figure their lives out. They're like, "Oh, I want to start a business, so I'm finally going to go through with this idea, so to speak." And then this whole thing just happens, where the entire world just shuts down. Essentially, I can but only imagine from my own perspective. I can only but imagine what is going on in the minds of a lot of young people. What would be like your first words to them, like in this situation?
I'm going to say some things that are funny. First of all, you're not the first person going through this. People went through the pandemic many years ago and they came out of it stronger. Secondly, life is happening for you, not to you. So whatever is happening around you, yes, it matters, but what matters most is you, what you're doing with your time, what you're doing with your life, what you're doing with your mindset. So those are the two things I have to say.
So what would you say is key? I know you've kind of answered this a little bit, but I just wanted to just pivot on that a little. So what would you say is key to dealing with uncertainty? What would you say, like I'm sure like through your career, so to speak, you have had to deal with all of that, the big projects that you've worked on and everything. So what would you say is key to dealing with? What would you say is key in dealing with a lot of uncertainty, so to speak, as young people?
The thing with uncertainty is uncertainty brings one thing that actually limits people, and that's fear. And I tell people it's okay to be afraid. We all battle with one fear or the other every day. Even the most popular people, the most influential people, if you get close to them, you know that they battle with one fear or the other. Everybody's battling with fear. In short, my wife used to say, everybody's winging it. Like everybody's just, like they say in popular parlance. But how you deal with it, how you manage it is what's most important. You might be motivated today and tomorrow you're not motivated. It is how you manage yourself. Now, with uncertainty always comes opportunity to thrive. And that's a fact. Where there is uncertainty, where there is a need, there are always opportunities. It is up to you to first look inwards and ask yourself, who am I? What is special about me? What do I know that people want to hear? I tell people everybody has value to give. Everybody has something to give. It might be in your knowledge, it might be in your know-how, it could be in your experience. Because do you know your experience can actually be what somebody needs to hear to be better at himself. Everybody has something to give. So you have to first look inward, know yourself. It starts with you, know yourself. Who am I? What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to go? What are the things that interest me? Who are the people I need to meet? Who are the people I need to network with to be better? That starts with you. Secondly, I tell people that in uncertainty, in short, uncertainty is the best time to find your purpose. And purpose is found by doing. You find your purpose and you find direction in life by working, by doing, by getting your hands dirty. You can't sit down in your house and expect that you find purpose or you find clarity. I teach entrepreneurs a lot about clarity because I feel like clarity is the core to why you will succeed. Clarity of purpose, clarity of direction, clarity of the kind of business you want to build. So clarity is very, very important. And you cannot find clarity, you cannot find purpose if you're not doing something. Everything that I've gone through all my life led me to this minute here, to me talking to you, to me being able to share my experience with you, because I was working all the while. I was doing something. Even when I wasn't sure where I was going to, I was still working. You cannot say, oh, the world is uncertain, there are no jobs, so you will sit down at home and do nothing. You will waste, you will become a waste. At 50 or 40, you'll be in your parents' house. It's the reality, and that's the reality of so many people today in Nigeria and abroad. But when you get to work, when you start doing, you'll find, oh, this kind of things interests me. Oh, this is not what I want. So you move to the next thing. You begin to meet people that change your perspective. You see this thing they call exposure. It's actually very important. Exposure changes your mindset. That's why you have to interact with people that are better than you, are smarter than you, and have traveled or have gone places. That's why you need to travel. That's why you need to meet new people. If you are the local champion, you will never go far in life. So you need to find people that are smarter than you, associate people that are wiser than you, that have a direction that you want to go. So associate with people that are aligned with your own type of values. That's very important. Like me, I would not go associate with somebody. I'm a very calm, collected person. I know people that have complementary skills that help me. So I started out very, very shy. I couldn't talk. I have a slight stammer, and so I didn't like to talk. But you know what I did? I started interacting with people that talked very well, that carried themselves in a certain way. And that taught me a lot because I started finding myself picking things from them, the way they speak, the way, they slant their words, the way they, hold their shoulders while they're talking. And I got better. As you see that point I made about being the local champion, you have to interact with the people that are better than you. So uncertainty brings opportunities and it gives you opportunities to thrive and be better. And the beautiful thing about uncertainty is that everybody's complaining. The whole world is saying, oh my God, COVID is happening. People are sitting back and relaxing. This is your opportunity to accelerate and go ahead of so many people if you just do the work.
So I feel like I hear this thing a lot, even with a lot of like older associates, and they're like, where do I start? Like, is this like I want to do? So people that are in that place, I want to do, but I don't know what to do. I hear a lot of things about entrepreneurship, but I don't know where to start. So where will you suggest is a good place to start for people like that?
First of all, I have learned in my life that anything that you say, hey, I will do it later, you probably will never do it. So you should start now. But where should you start? Start with your passions. Start with the things that interest you. Is it music? Find out what exactly music interests you. Is it the PR side of, okay, first of all, music interests you, fine. But what are the gaps in the music industry? How can you bring your own skills, or how can you teach yourself a skill that become relevant in the music industry? Everybody cannot be Wizkid. Everybody cannot be Davido. But there are people currently in music cashing out because they are probably in PR, they are probably writing songwriters, they probably set up stages for events. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you find that thing you like, find the gaps in it. Learn. The thing about being good or producing value is when you learn, you practice. In short, I find out that we all learn better when we do. Because you make mistakes, and from those mistakes you become better. So, in deciding what to do while everybody's complaining, look at your passions, project, visualize where do you want to be in the next 5 years, If 5 years is too long, where do you want to be in the next 2 years? Where do you want to be in 1 year? What are the goals you have to achieve? One of the things my parents taught me that I really, really, really respect them for and I replicate all the time is the concept of writing your goals at the beginning of the year. Now, I didn't say New Year resolution. New Year resolutions are crap because people, crossover service, it's going to be a great year, so excited. And that's why I have problems with motivational speakers. You're so excited, and 1 month after, you're back to ground zero. Nothing. You haven't done anything. You haven't improved yourself. And you know why? Because you have not set SMART goals. Specific, measurable, actionable. What's the R? Forgotten. T, time-bound. Your goals have to be SMART. From there, you can now break it down into actionable steps. So I want to have a six-pack, random, because that's one of the things I want to do this year. Hopefully I do it. What will I do? Would I wake up? Would I say, okay, go to the gym? Going to the gym is a useless goal and a useless task. You know why? You can't measure it. And anything you don't measure doesn't grow. So if I say I want to attend the gym 4 times a week, that makes it more actionable. That makes it more measurable. If I say, okay, I want to run twice a week and go to the gym twice a week, so I cannot hold myself accountable and I'm responsible because I've told myself, go do these 4 things. That's how to set goals. New Year resolutions, no. But goals, if you set goals for yourself, it's weird because me and my wife were really, I like to say my wife a lot because we got married sometime last year. And she's like my best friend, and everything we kind of do together. And we're talking about where we are today. And we realized that it's a function of the goals we wrote 2 years ago, 3 years ago. The thing about writing SMART goals is that somehow it is written in your subconscious, and your subconscious is very important. The things you feed your subconscious is very important. So once it's in your subconscious, you find yourself working towards it. Secondly, one thing that helps you with achieving goals, I know I'm debating it, is having an accountability partner. Oftentimes, you can't do it on your own. No man succeeded alone. And I mean woman too. No man or woman succeeded alone. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built by one person. Rome was built by a group of people that held themselves accountable. Hey, you're not putting this brick right. Hey, you are not putting plaster here. Hey, we are behind timelines. They're supposed to have built to this feet. Why have we not gotten there? So it is good to have an accountable partner. Very, very, very important. So that when you are falling back, that person can tap your head. And it has to be an accountable partner that will tell you the truth. Can tap your head and say, boss, come on, what are you doing, madam? How far? I thought we said we're going to do this by this time. What's happening? And I like to add that even when you set goals, you might not achieve it all the time. The important thing is to ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do right? What went wrong? And what can I do better? It is very important because that switches your thinking from feeling bad to action, to seeing how you can get better. So what did I do right? What did I do wrong? And what can I do better? It's very, very important.
Great. That was so insightful. The comment section is a track of really like it's a lot. So I want to now move to the process of ideation, so to speak. It would seem that everybody has said it. We are in like a revolutionary period. Things are going to change. The digitization is like at a triple pace. Everybody's adapting very, very quickly to digitization. So would you say that is like a metric we can see happening? We can see that, but would you say that we are in a different playing field as regards to like starting businesses? What should entrepreneurs be thinking of now, or be thinking more of now, that they were not doing before, so to speak? Aside digitization is the obvious like frontier, definitely, but aside that, is there any other thing, or even with that as like a springboard, where should our minds be focused on? What should we be focused on doing?
So we've moved from the era of just producing solutions for the sake of productions. We're in the era of servicing customers at the point of their need. So you have to be customer-centric. Now, being customer-centric doesn't mean that you do everything the customer sees. Being customer-centric means that you solve the innate need of the customer. If you check I do a lot of business posts on my Instagram, if you've seen it. And I post stuff that helps entrepreneurs find clarity and stuff on business, stuff on life. And my last post was, are you a vitamin or a painkiller? If you're on this live, please go back to that post and answer. Now, let me tell you why that post was very important. So I heard it. I don't know why I heard it, but I think I heard it in a conversation with my wife. And well, I meant to have said my wife, but yeah,
It's
I heard it,
love.
and
It's
and
love.
it hits me. That just shows how important she is to me. It
Yeah.
hits me because when we grow up with our parents having, I mean, if you're like your mother and father is like mine, they have drugs in the cupboard, plenty vitamins. They are there. When somebody says, "Hey, drink this ginseng," they will buy, they keep. Let's say somebody they buy, they keep, but they never drink it. So they drink it like 1 or 2 days, and that's it. It's a vitamin. It's a nice to have. You will not die if you don't take your vitamins, because interestingly, as you eat your food, you can also get vitamins. As you walk under the sun, you can get vitamins. However, if you have malaria right now, if you are sick, what do you go take? Anti-malaria, right?
Yes.
You have to take anti-malaria, or you have to treat the malaria. If you have a headache, what do? You take painkiller. You don't drink water. You go and take paracetamol or Panadol. Now, what you need to do in your life is to be Panadol to people. The solution that they need, that solution that solves their problem better than every other person. That is what you ought to be. Now, putting this in context in the age of, the digital age, but I'll tell you that this is not necessarily new. The digital age is just being accelerated. People were already using Zoom for conference calls years ago. In short, Zoom, Facebook, Twitter, and all the likes of the modern tools you're using now started at the last depression. So when there was a depression before, people saw opportunities. You remember how I said that when there's uncertainty, there are opportunities? These companies were founded because there was an uncertainty 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. So imagine the kind of solutions that you can build now if you look at the customer and find how to solve that their innate need. To do that, you have to build a customer profile and sort of, first of all, ask yourself, what exactly motivates this customer? What is the thing they want to achieve in this life? Like, if you solve it right now, or if you solve this problem right now, they'll always come back to you. Because I tell people, word of mouth is the best form of marketing. So you want people to you want to solve people's need in a way that they will be willing and happy to tell other people about it. So what is their motivation? What other person is providing a solution for the problem you want to solve? So who are the competition? How can you be better than that competition? Now, competition could be direct, it can be indirect. Say, for example, you're selling water. Your competition could be the tree outside. You know why the tree outside is your competition? Because people that are hiking or walking, they use water to replenish themselves, right? When they're feeling hot. But they can also as well go and stand under the tree, under the shade, when they want to replenish themselves, right? So you need to think holistically, who exactly is your competition? And how can you do better than the competition? Then another thing, remember I said finding what motivates the customer. Also find out how you can help the customer achieve their dreams or achieve their goals. Think about it. Every great company that is doing well now helped the customers achieve something. If it's Microsoft built productivity tools that helped you be more efficient at work. If it's Apple was building some of the best cameras for years that helped you take good pictures. So a lot of the influencers were using Apple, right? So you build a product that helps people achieve the goal. You're not necessarily the goal, but if you help them achieve what they want to achieve, you help them live the best lives, you will be always memorable. People will always use you. And there was the last thing I wanted to say. Also, I think that's about it. Just to be done. Yeah, so Afolabi has actually said it, just to be done. How do you help the customer, live a better life, achieve their goals? How do you help them blow? In quotes.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask, because there are creative professionals here, and some of my friends are here as well, for someone who is like an artist, for instance, now, I feel like art is like a luxury product. It's something people buy when they have money overflowing. So how does someone like that kind of position themselves for this whole thing?
Positioning. So I'll give everybody one assignment. And coincidentally, I watched the movie again yesterday night. Go watch a movie called Syrup. Syrup. It talks a lot about positioning and branding and crafting a recognizable brand. So how do you, first of all, what differentiates you from everybody? You have to have what differentiates you from everybody. What makes you stand out? What is your unique selling point? What do you do better than everybody? In the post I made yesterday, I said, find a way to solve a problem and solve it better than anybody. What do you do better than everybody? What can you shout on the mountaintop and say, if you bring this thing to me right now, man, solved. Yes, assignments are good. Go do your assignments. And then, how do I make my brand unique? You need to ask yourself, is it in your tone? Is it in your appearance? Is it in the way you carry out your business functions? Or that's why you see on my page, my Instagram page, even is a lot of black and white because I want focus on what I'm sharing. So that if you look at my pictures, your eyes will always go back to the carousels where the text is. That's why I stuck to that pattern. So what makes you uniquely identifiable? If you walk into a market store, what makes you different? If you're speaking to people, what makes you stand out? You need to find a way to stand out. Then positioning, going back to that word positioning, how are you positioning yourself such that when they look at the competitors, they see you as the best option for them. Mind you, I didn't say the best option in the market, but I said the best option for them. You can position, exactly. You can position yourself so good that customers, very simple example, do you know that the Bing search engine is actually better than Google? Yeah. Okay. Go and search stuff on Bing and check the results out. Google is filled with first page ads and all, but Google first of all, Google ensured that they encroached into our everyday life. Google pays the Apple iPhone a lot of millions of dollars to be the default search engine. Hope you know. They pay. They don't just put the search engine on your browser. It's paid for. Google ensured that they inserted themselves in everybody's life. Google also made it easy to use. So Google was probably the minimalistic and the simplest search engine to use. And so they positioned themselves in a way that it was so easy to use Google. And then hear the word Google. You just Google it. Somebody asks you a question, what do you say? Go and Google it. They positioned it in a way that they were the solution. They might not have been the best in the market, but the way they positioned themselves, it always felt like they were the best. So find ways to insert yourself in the conversation. Find ways to look, like you're the most knowledgeable. And I'm going to give real life perspective here. I've been opportunity to sit in circles of people that are way older than me, more knowledgeable than me. But let me tell you how I used to stand out, making smart statements. My mentor always told me something. You must always have something to say. Now, there's a caveat. Don't be saying foolish things, right? But you must always, right from the get-go, think of something smart to say. If there's a conversation, be the one to ask questions. Be the one to give suggestions. And you know how I used to do it? Shall I give you a trick, my trick?
Yes.
I actually used to Google. While people are conversing, I just pick my phone and Google stuff, what they are saying, and I find something interesting online and I will mention it. That makes you look like, what does that make me look like? I'm smart, I'm knowledgeable, I'm confident. People buy into confidence.
Confidence, yes.
You cannot say you have the best product in the market and you cannot talk about it. So, lastly, how you sell yourself is very important. How you sell yourself, and let me repeat again, is very, 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 very important. You can be the best DJ in the world. You can write the best business plans. You can be the best business strategy. But if you're not presenting yourself that way, it doesn't matter. Because your value is only as good as what is perceived by the receiving party.
Yeah.
So if they don't perceive you as good, you're wasting your time.
I think it's like Google. So I would want to go in terms of I want to maybe focus more on businesses now, or existing businesses, not so much about ideation or creation or starting from scratch again. So businesses that already exist, so to speak. yes, we are thinking about digitization, but I'm not sure that a lot of conversation is going into how will I say this now? How to bring people or make their employees, so to speak, become in tune with the new working culture.
Yeah.
There's now the entire work from home thing. Everybody's having meetings on Zoom, but I think it definitely presents its own unique set of challenges as
Of
well.
course.
But there's not as much conversation going into helping people deal with this. I'm not sure how much internal communication is going on as regards helping people deal with the fast or like heightened process of change that has happened now. How would you say companies should begin to approach this aspect of things?
So, yes, Afolabi, people are going to get laid off. It happens every time there is a major shift, and that's okay. That's okay. Okay, that's not okay, but that's okay, and I'll tell you why I said that's okay. Because it now behoves on you the responsibility to develop skills that people need in the new dispensation. But let's go back to the discussion around companies. So I don't necessarily believe that it is a work from home. I believe it is we are moving to the era of work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Which means wherever you find the tools to work, you can actually work. So I can decide to go to my friend's house and spend the weekend. And on Monday, instead of rushing to work, I sit down in his house and still get the job done. But it's also in this period that companies are beginning to will see that they can actually do more with less. And you want to be part of that conversation. You want your company to see that they can do more with you. Mind you, I'm not saying your company should treat you as a slave. I'm not saying you should do the work of 5 people, but your company begins to see that they can be efficient by having you on board. I tell people something. To be valuable in your workplace, you have to do more than your job. The CEOs are multifaceted people. The CFOs actually might have worked in different departments. Nobody gets to the top by knowing only one thing. They might specialize in one thing, but they know a lot about many other things. So if you're going to be very valuable in your workplace right now, as people are trying to get efficient, you need to do more than your job. You need to have initiative. You need to be finding solutions to solve or suggesting solutions to your company. I agree that in the Nigerian workplace, it's very peculiar. We have leaders that don't like to listen to people. But when you have value, and you communicate it well and can stand out, nobody's going to dispute that you are good. I agree too that not everything is ideal. I've worked in a place where I had the value, yet the person I was reporting to kept on taking the glory, and so people didn't know that the work was coming from me. I agree. But when you begin to then you have that mindset that you're doing more than your job and you become indispensable, you'll find out that it is easier for you to step out of the company and go to another company. Because at the end of the day, the work you do is the foundation for future exploits. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you something. In that job that I said, I felt like nobody was seeing what I was doing. There were people that were seeing the work, and when they left the company, they kept on talking about me. And when I left the company, they were like, oh, this guy just left. I think this person is good for this role. So the seeds you sow now, no matter how little, no matter how insignificant, would actually help you on your journey. So it's important that you sow those seeds. Do more than your job. Be valuable. First of all, I'm not saying take that competitive mindset and try to trample on your fellow co-workers. But if you are the best at your job, people will see it. People will know, right? And then if you go a step further and do more than your job, when the CEO is talking, say, oh, sir, excuse me, I think this thing you said is correct, right? Because communication is key, like somebody said in conversation. But I think if we do it this way, if we stop selling this and focus on this, sir, don't you think it will give us a better this thing? He might say no, but trust me, he has heard you. You have become top of mind. You are standing out. Continue doing that, and trust me, you'll be on the fast track to success. Now, when I say fast track, I didn't say your success will come tomorrow, but it will accelerate that growth for you. So back to the workplace and this period, there's going to be a lot of decentralized working. So companies begin to realize that we don't even need to come to the office to get job done, right? We can do the job by having them in different places. Companies will begin to see that, like I said earlier, they don't need that much workforce, right? But unfortunately, there will now be a huge blur between the work time and personal space. which means that at 10 p.m. your boss could still be calling you.
Yes.
Because I mean, they are saying you are home. What are you doing at home?
Yeah.
So by 10 p.m. you can still do the work. So interestingly, I tell one of the things that worked for me that it took me time to learn is as you grow. So at a stage in your life. So let me tell you one thing before I continue. Who knows Gary Vee? You know Gary Vee. Gary Vee gives a lot of advice on social media. Now Gary Vee is upfront, straight to the point, using the F word, fuck this, you know. Gary Vee will say, don't think twice, just step in, go and do it, say it. While an Oprah is more laid back, more strategic, right? She kind of likes to operate with a lot of emotional intelligence and says, you know what, take a step back, ask questions before you act, right? All this advice are actually pretty good. And if you implement them, it'll work. So implement the advice that works for you at that stage of your life. If at the stage of your life, you're still intern, still upcoming, you can't do it, Gary Vee. They will fire you.
Yeah.
Right? So you pick the advice that works for you at the stage of your life. And I'm relating it back to all the things I'm saying. So you don't go do, practice what I'm telling you when it doesn't fit that stage at which you're in. So back to the conversation. So, and because companies are beginning to find ways to be very, very, and I'm probably going to step into a question that you want to ask me later. Companies are looking for ways to be efficient. They will now start looking for people that can self-manage themselves and their time. People that don't need to be followed up with, people that don't need, that have initiative. Because I've worked with teams, and it's hard to work with someone that you have to tell him, go and do this. Now, typically, in the everyday work style, you get to the office, your boss says, these are the things I want you to do today, right? But unfortunately, when it's decentralized, it's harder. And so they expect you to show initiative, you to manage yourself properly. So the workplace force and workplace is going to be looking for people like that. Now, if you don't become that kind of person, you will probably be one of the people that will lose their jobs. Because companies are now looking for people that have initiative. Because now you cannot have those offices are now going to become glorified conference centers, in quotes, just for meetings. Because nobody's going to be, in short, reality, my friend now works from the office twice a week. And then the rest, so two days in the office, 3 days at home. That's their new policy in their office. So the office is always empty, almost every time. It is now a glorified conference. The only time they go to the office is when they want to have like a big team meet. And most times they try to do it offline first. Except they want to really do core strategic work. So things are going to be happening. Of course, Nigerian companies will take time to catch up. That's okay. The important thing is no matter the moving parts, it is you. And I tell people that at a young age, because I know I'm speaking to millennials, this is the time for you to do all the things you need to do. It's weird, as you grow older, as you have the time, as you have the money, you think you need to do more. Not true. I did some of my most impactful work when I was still working for somebody in my previous life. And that's because I was always under pressure. I wake up by 4:30. Yeah, my previous, where I worked before. Yeah, I like to speak my previous life because it was a good experience. So I wake up by 4:30. I go to the gym. I get to work. By 7 a.m., I'm writing my LinkedIn article. By 8, I start work. When I start work, I lock out all my personal stuff. By 12, I go to have lunch. I quickly pick up my personal things. I quickly write a blog post. By 6 p.m., work has ended. I open my blog post. I finish writing it because I don't want to enter traffic. So I spent time on blog. It looked like I was doing so many things. I was getting overwhelmed, but I was doing my best work. Guess what? I grew in life, right? Bigger responsibilities, more money, more influence, and I'm not able to do that kind of work again. Not because I can't, but because my responsibilities have changed, and so I don't have that time like that. So this is the time for you to do your most important work. Don't say it's too much. The pressure is too much. When will the pressure be ever enough? Pressure will always be there. What are you doing with that pressure? Pressure bets pills. There is nothing, how will I put it now? significant things come out of pressure. So ask yourself, yes, there's pressure. Yes, my boss is always calling me, but how can I use this time now to be something for the future? How can I put my best foot forward in this pressure? Because there, like the Bible says, let me go biblical, there are times and there are seasons. There'll be a time where you cannot manage that pressure again. At a young age, this is the time to take the pressure. This is the time to eat it, swallow it, digest it, and make it work for you. But in whatever you do, let it work for you. That's why you need to know yourself, know where you're going to, know the people you need to meet, know everything around what you are. Okay, you might not necessarily know everything, but have an idea of everything you need to succeed and make your current situation work for you. Simple example. And okay, let me give a short story on how you find your what's the word now? Your purpose in doing. Remember how I said that you find your purpose in doing. In my previous life, okay, I graduated from Covent University, elect engineering, and on my graduation day, I just knew it that guy, this elect, you will not find a job. It's not a swear, it's not this thing, it's reality. Because I looked at Nigeria, I looked at everything. However, when I was in school, I was in a dance school. I used to dance. Now I'm very stiff. And because I was in a dance school, I used to mix music. So I learned how to use Adobe Audition. And then I learned how to build websites, CSS, Adobe, what do you call that thing again? One of those Adobe suites. Because of my dance. Because guess what? Out of dance, I wanted to mix music. Then I wanted to build a web page. Now, all these things I was doing, it didn't make sense to me at that time. At that time, I also had a small business in school that I when I think back, I used to make money. But yeah, I was doing all those things and I was just doing it. But I was also going to school. Now I graduated from school and boom, Nigeria hits you. Realize that we don't have industries. You're elect of 5 years. It's probably a waste. Do you go for masters or do you find something to do now? To be honest, right from my 400 level, I already saw the fingers writing on the wall because I tried to get a job in an electrical firm and I couldn't. And so I ended up getting a job in an IT firm. So purpose in doing. Now, I said I worked in computer warehouse. For those of you that know that the company. And from computer warehouse, I learned some of my core tech skills. I graduated NYSC. I said, I can't use my 1 year and do nothing. My mom was a teacher for over 30 years. And I told myself I'll never be a teacher. So my mom said, you will never teach. But I said, because to her, back in the days, teaching in civil service, in quotes, kind of limits you. You're just comfortable with life and you don't do anything. So I already told myself I wasn't going to teach. And so that was when government now said that policy of NYSC folks had to teach. Man, I said, this is my value. This is what I want. How can I make this work? I did something. I'm not saying you should do it. I kind of negotiated with the principal of the school. I said, hey, man, you know what? I will show up in the school to sign, but I'm not going to teach. How about we come to an arrangement? If you need to know the arrangement, write me a message. So anyways,
you go straight.
I ended up joining this skills acquisition program called Said for NYSC. People see that thing and laugh and okay, but that thing I did changed the trajectory of my life. It helped me find where I was going to be. And so I joined the group that was teaching web design and app design. Funny enough, many years down the line, the guy that taught me, I was responsible for his business, a decision he had to make in his business, and I was responsible for how much we're going to give him, but that's the story for another day. Anyways, he taught me website design, and I took it serious. That whole 1 year, I was learning how to build a web. I started with Joomla. For those of you that know WordPress, I started with Joomla. Then I went to WordPress. Then I just learned stuff. Guess what? Ah, God, this story is long, but let me continue. Guess what? The first job I had, because of that thing I learned, I was getting paid higher than a graduate student from the University of Manchester, a master's for that matter. So this goes back to the point of learning to sell yourself. Now, the thing about life is, funny thing is, all these things I'm saying, I didn't know I was doing them. It's now that everything is making sense, because I wish I took some of those lessons at that point and still continued doing it. But I got paid, and then I was doing the work, and I got another job. Till today, I don't know how I got the job. But I just got called, come for an interview at Hess Holdings. It's a multinational company in Nigeria. And guess what? They needed somebody in their IT department that could manage websites and do data analysis. Now, for those of you that are thinking about the jobs for the future, data analysis is very important. There's so much data right now, but people don't know how to interpret it. So back to the story. And that's how I got in there. And then the year after I joined, they said they wanted to start an entrepreneurship program through their philanthropic arm, the Tony Elumelu Foundation. And guess who they called? Me. You know how I said purpose is found in doing. Now, previously to that time, when they were thinking about the program, I was giving ideas. Why don't we do this? Why don't we make the program wholly online? I was just doing it because it's me giving idea. But guess what? I didn't know they were going to call me to head it. So I repeat, your purpose and clarity is found in doing. Just keep on doing. And then, but I didn't even know that this is where I was going to be. I didn't know I was going to be this person I'll be talking entrepreneur. All I thought at that time was just manage an online platform. But I found out that I enjoyed talking to the entrepreneurs. I studied their literature and I understood it and I could explain it better than the people that were supposed to do it. And guess what? They said, hey, you're go and run this program. From managing tech platform to running program. And that's it. That's why I'm here today. So you find your purpose in doing. It pains me when I hear people say, there is no job, there is no job. Yes, there is no job. People. Hit the heart sign. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. So it broke for him. So there are more unemployable people than there are no jobs. I agree there are no jobs, but if you look in the market, I've helped companies recruit, and the people I see, my God, I wouldn't want them to work for me. So how are you, being employable? How are you learning the skills that will help you speak out, that will help you talk, that will help you project your value? How are you building yourself as a brand? And guess what? As I left the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the next consultancy work I did, nobody asked me for CV. You know why? Because they could see the value I was giving. In short, the very first day they gave me an offer, hey, come and consult for us. I saw the zeros and I was like, what? But it didn't just happen like that. It was because I put in the work. I built my brand. I built myself by solving problems for people. I was becoming the go-to person to solve a particular problem. I did not sit back and say, oh, this is just my job, so I'm confident in my job. I was improving myself. I was getting myself in conversation. Somebody said something recently, I cannot remember it, so I might bungle it, said that if you're that at the table, you are either discussing the menu or you're the menu.
Yeah.
So you are either discussing somebody's fate or somebody discussing your fate. You're either among the decision makers or somebody is determining your fate. But where you are not in that circle of decision makers, who is advocating for you? Who has seen your value well enough to advocate for you? Which is why I tell people, get a mentor. Now, that's even another longer conversation. Mentors are very important. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, people are not open to sharing. But it's a two-way street. It's because you are not giving something. Imagine, in short, so I've worked with some of the most powerful people in Nigeria. I've worked with Tony Elumelu for quite a while. Every time we travel with him or go with him, every time people were always asking him, sir, do this for me, buy this for me, invest in this, I need a new laptop. Nobody will come to him and say, sir, I see you have this problem, I can solve this problem for you. What value do you have to give to that person that you want to become a mentor? It has to be a 50-50 win-win. I have to see the value in you. I have to see the value you are giving me before I want to mentor. Because mentors are busy people. They have their lives to live. They have family. They have businesses. You also have to solve a problem for them. But unfortunately, people do not approach it that way. All they do is give me. Man, you will keep on screaming, give me, and complain that nobody's responding to your emails. Go and check the post on my Instagram. I think I addressed this about learning to communicate your value and, giving people it. So many messages. But if I see, I noticed you wanted to show videos and I can edit videos. You know what? Can I help you edit some of your videos? Then I become interested. Commenting on my page and saying, sir, I like what you said about this, but you know what? I think we should do it this way. Then I begin to notice you that you're smart. I begin to say, oh, there is an alignment. I like what you're doing. You're smart. And then you now hit me and say, oh, I would like you to be my mentor. Then I'm now more receptive to that. But let's go ahead of getting a mentor. You need a sponsor. In short, 3 things. 1, build yourself, build your network such that you become friends with people that know the people you want to know. It's a lot of tautology. So build your network so you become friends with people that know the people you want to go, because the world operates in a loop. You might not know Tony Elumelu, but you probably will know somebody that knows another person that can introduce you to Tony Elumelu. So increase your first level contact. You know how LinkedIn will do first level contact, second level connection. Find ways so that you are sort of linked to that person or that place you want to go. If you want to work in the federal government, you can't start finding friends in civil service. You can't sit in your house. And I mean friends. When I say friends, find people that align with your values, and you can that can call you friend. That means you are valuable to them, right? Then find a mentor, somebody you can understudy, somebody that you like, that you want to be like that person. So mentors are people that you like maybe not everything about them, but you like specific parts about them. From today to tomorrow, I don't like Donald Trump. However, there's something I love about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is real. And I want to be that real. Like, if Donald Trump says I'm going to do this today, you know he's going to do it. I like Obama because Obama is a great orator. And that is why. So if I say Obama is my mentor, it's because of that particular state. So when you pick a mentor, you're not necessarily modeling your life after everything. You're modeling your life after that part you want. And then take it a step further, find a sponsor. When I say sponsor, it's not about money. It's about advocacy. I did a podcast recently and I titled, Who is Advocating for You? A sponsor advocates for you. When you're not in the room, a sponsor is saying, but I know this guy that can do the work. A sponsor puts their reputation on the line for you. That is the level of friendship you want to get to. So connection, mentor, then sponsor. When you get there, trust me, things begin to move well and fast for you. Because then people are saying, I know this guy can solve the problem. Sometimes they know that you're not that good, but because they want you to gain experience, they'll recommend you. Right when I left, so it happens, I have people call me and say, oh, I'm going to send somebody to you. He's from, in short, okay, let me give an example. I spoke to a group of entrepreneurs, and in that conversation, we had some government people from Akwa Ibom State, all of them, special assistant to the governor, this one to the governor. This one. How did I get in there? It was one person. I said, oh, I know this guy. He's doing well in entrepreneurship space. I think you need to call him to speak. And that's how I got there. Only good that I didn't know anybody. I mean, I'm in Lagos. I've been living in Lagos all my life, most of my life. How would the Akwa Ibom State government take notice of me? If not because somebody spoke my name when they were making decisions. So you want to get to that level where people now begin to talk about you. Or at the table, the decision makers begin to speak about you and advocate for you. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm dazed. I'm actually dazed. So, let me catch myself small. So, I think my last question, and just to wrap everything up, we're almost out of time, is about ensuring discipline. So, in just closing words, because I'm sure time is almost mattered. Ensuring discipline. What would be your last words about ensuring discipline? About staying consistent. I know many people have said different things about staying consistent, but for you, what is consistency, and how do we build ourselves towards that ideal?
Okay, you see, this question you asked is one of the reasons why I hate motivation. I don't necessarily hate motivation, but I don't like the way people apply motivation, and I don't like the way motivational speakers some have profited from this need to always feel that push. Now, think about it. When you hear motivational speeches, you shall be great. Tomorrow, wake up, get it, and you're hyped. Oh my God. Then you go to bed, you wake up, and realize that shit, there's no light. Shit, I don't have money. And guess what? You're dejected and you just sit down at home and do nothing. But how do you stay consistent towards your goal? Because you will never be motivated 100% of the time. In short, I tell people motivation only makes sense when you are well equipped to act. It's just like going to war. Now, all of us just gather ourselves. We go to war. Once we can fight, once we can fight war. I wanted to mention something, but I know that some people will kill me if I say, once we go and fight war, and we don't have any tools, no axe, no battle axe, no sword, and someone standing in front of us saying, we are going to win. Yeah, everybody go, yeah. Guess what? All of us will be slaughtered. No matter how many of us have, if someone just take a gun and spray all of us and kill us. You know why? Because we were not equipped with the tools to act or achieve anything. So motivation is useless if you are not fortified, if you are not well, if you don't have the tools. And your tools come from building consistency. How do you build consistency? My wife did a post about recently that related it to brushing your teeth.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. If you miss brushing your teeth today, will you say, oh God, I forgot to brush my teeth, so I will never brush my teeth again? You will go and brush your teeth the next day. Or when you remember, you go do it. Consistency is making sure you create a system that enables you to do the work, no matter the time, no matter the place. You just know, I got to do this, I will do it. I forgot, but I'm going to do it, right? Creating systems that enable you to work. Let me give one example. When I was in paid employment, when my alarm used to ring, I kind of trained myself that mainly it rang 5 seconds, I must stand up. You know why? If I did not stand up in 5 seconds, I'm going to sleep through the alarm. So that was a system that worked for me. And then after I did that, you know what I did? I jumped into the shower. Because I knew that shower was what woke me up. So you have to find, a system that works for you. That was my system. Wake up, jump up after 5 seconds, jump into the shower, go and do your exercise. Do your exercise first, jump into the shower, start driving to work. So I wake up by 4:30. Yeah, someone will ask why you be waking up by 4:30, but Lagos, and I hate traffic. I hate traffic like mad. So I wake up by 4:30, jump up from the bed quickly, and then because my office had a gym, I drive to the office literally, do my exercise, have my bath, and trust me, I'm feeling invigorated for the day. The minute I miss that system, my day is always a mess. So you find a system that works for you, that pushes you to act, that keeps you in flux, in a state of flux, so you can get things done. So for everybody, it's different. I had a friend that before every major project, he used to listen to gospel music. That was the system. I tell you, what for him, my God. If like this, you want to go and do strategy meeting, he has listened to his 15 minutes of gospel music. He's on fire. I don't know how it works for him, but that's how his life. So find a system that works for you and continue doing it. Now, when you make a mistake, you're like, okay, I made a mistake, but you keep on doing. You do not say, oh, I've messed up, so I am finished. That kind of mindset would not take you far. In short, a lot of time, consistency is this. It's you telling yourself, I'm not doing this because I have to do it. I'm doing this because of where I need to be. And if I don't do this, I will live a life of regret. I will not get that 6 packs. I will not get that promotion. So I'm doing it not because I'm not feeling the best. I'm doing it because of where I want to be, the future gain. If you visualize and say, this is where I want to be, every time you feel down, you will look at you would ensure that you walk through your stage, you will still get to do the work. Because for me, I tell myself, if I look back at my life and I am not happy because I have not achieved X, Y, Z, or I have not done this, then I am a failure. So what is failure for you? Turn that to the motivation. Let it be your motivation. For some people, random. See, another thing is, I tell people that find your own motivation. Don't let people be the motivation for you. So simple example, some people do certain things for certain reasons, right? For some people, it is that when they were growing up, they did not have food to eat. So in their mind, they're like, I never want to be broke. Own it. So for some people, it was a girl that rejected them in secondary school. And they're like, I will be rich. Say you want to follow rich guys. I'm going to be rich. Own it. This is your motivation. And use it to push you towards action. Don't be ashamed of your motivation. My wife's motivation is that she never wants to be broke. And it's a good motivation. So you own it. I never want to be broke. So, man, if I sleep in this bed, I'm going to be broke. Nah, I don't want to be broke. You stand up. And even if that day you're not feeling your best, even if the day before you lost money, even the day before your boss shouted on you, you know that it is about where you are going to. It is not about the present. The present is inconsequential when you think about the future. That's why I tell people that keep your focus on where you're going to be. You will see that the present holds no sway. Even if you are pained, you're a human being, when bad things happen, you will see that you will always be thinking about where you are going to. Where you are going to is more important than the present. So everything you are doing should be about where you're going to.
Thank you so much. I don't want to keep you beyond the time. Thank you so much. I'm sure we've all learned a lot of things. And my mind is blown. I'm fired up. I'm like, I have to replicate the same results.
Exactly. You said something very important. It's not about being fired up. It's about replicating. And my dream is for everybody that hears me speak, they go and get to do the work. And where they cannot do the work, they find a community that can motivate them. And that's important. That's another thing I need to add as we round up. Find a community, join a community that with like-minded people. It could be 2 people, it could be 3 people, it could be 1,000 people. Find a community that helps you grow. Remember how I said that there's no use of being a village champion. A village champion is never a village champion for life. Somebody else will come and overthrow him. So instead of being a village champion, think about being a future champion. Roll with the people that are already champions and learn what they're doing. So find a community that works of like-minded people that are going where you want to go. So that where you lack the motivation, where you are down, you look at those guys and say, man, this guy is doing well, I must be doing well. So one of my communities, my minor communities as we round up, is my wife. I'll give you a good example. She doesn't know this. So I'm telling you a secret, don't tell her. So one of these nights, she sat down and she has a community of people that she sends emails to. She did something called, 14 letters of stuff, right? Then she said, man, I'm going to convert this to an ebook. And then she spent all night doing it. And I woke up in the morning and she had finished an ebook of 14 letters, over 50-something pages. Wow. And I looked at myself like, I've been saying I'm going to write an ebook since I've not done it. And guess what I did? I told myself I'm going to write my ebook. And in 2 days, I wrote it. Why did I do it? She pushed, I saw her do it. And I said, if she can do it, I can do it. That's the importance of a community. You see people doing well, and instead of you feeling jealous, because that's a big problem, it motivates you or it pushes you to push yourself to do better. It's very, very important.
Thank you. I'm sure we are all mind blown. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you here. I'm sure everybody has learned a lot. We hope to have you on again. I hope to.
As my schedule allows.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for everybody, follow me, go to my Instagram post, engage with it, ask me questions. I will always be there to respond.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, bye, sir.
All right, bye. Take care.
All right, guys. That was an amazing session. Again, like he said, you want to follow him at Monsieur Uwem on Instagram. Follow us as well. This is a video we're about finding better, smarter, and faster solutions for the Nigerian market. We're into retail consulting as well as media consulting. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye. See you again next week.